Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. Did I move this down? No, put a lot on. Hell yeah.
Okay, we're live. Welcome to the Drunken Guardian Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, the Drunken Guardian, Danny Martinez, and we are joined with the usual suspects. You got Kevin Boneless Bones here,
Going on, guys? Boneless Bones here.
Randy Ragnarok.
Is me. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I sound fine?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Is me. There we go.
And Sober Guardian Danny is there as well.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
So just remember, we're always on Thursdays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. So check us out live. If you guys want to join the chat, join in on all the talk that we have for the gaming news. Visit thedrunkenguardian.com for all the links, including TikTok and any other social media stuff we got, like Instagram and such. So check that stuff out. So we got a really cool show today when it comes to the news. It's not a lot of articles, but just a lot of game reveals and footage and stuff that we've been seeing lately. So before we get to that, I want to know if you guys have been playing and stuff like that. Kevin, what you been up to?
Nothing really. I haven't even played Persona. Been like so preoccupied this week that like I haven't played anything. I haven't touched my Switch in a couple days.
Didn't you say you beat Strikers?
No, I didn't even play Strikers.
Oh,
I've been trying to beat it so that I can play so I can start Catherine, but
mm-hmm.
I haven't even got to it yet.
Okay. Damn, so nothing today. That's shit. Life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Danny, what about you?
I've been playing Biomutants today. Pretty much I played last week.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I think it's fun. It has a lot of negatives, but it's good for a AA game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People are forgetting that it's not a huge, big budget. So, it is, so far, for what I played, I like it. I enjoy it. It's not a game, again, it's a game that once I beat, just say, I'll probably be done.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not even. Probably do like I always do, get to the ending and not actually beat it and skip the next game. But,
Yeah.
or 2 weeks come out, Final Fantasy the Great comes out, and I really forget about all of it.
Do you have a problem with like closure for a video game, or is it just you just ADD and just move on?
I have a problem with. I do this a lot. I've done this with Yakuza. I did it with Persona. I've done it with a lot of games. I even kind of did it with Final Fantasy, but I beat it, but I didn't do it the hardcore mode over again. I got towards the end. Like I get towards the end of a game, and if I know I beat it, I know I can beat it and finish it, I kind of don't care anymore, and I just move on to the next game. Because in my head, I kind of did it already. Like this, literally, like I think Yakuza, I have like half an hour to beat the last boss or whatever the ending is, and that's it. You know, and I'm super jacked up. I did the tower, you know, what you guys know about it, the giant tower. I did that already. I did it. You know, I've done everything you can do. I got all the best, almost damn near all the best weapons, maxed out all the way. I did everything, and I'm done. I don't know why I do that, but I tend to do that.
Sober, you just be blue ball in games, huh?
I really do. I know I don't no idea why I do that, but something I've always done.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna spend 90 hours on this game. Oh, it's 91 hours. I'm gonna drop it. I'll come back to it in 3 months.
I think I did that. Mass Effect 2. I think I did the same thing.
Oh man,
you know. Mass Effect 2, I did the same thing. Part 3, I think I beat. But you know, I don't know. I can name a shitload of games. Like, yeah, I've gone to the ending where I almost beat that. Might as well have beaten that.
In our eyes, we've already beat it regardless. Yeah. Randy, what about you? What you been up to? What you been playing?
Before we get into
anything?
that, just water today. Weirdly enough, but Sober, are you a culprit of like starting a game, making progress, putting it down, and then like once you pick it up again, you forget how to play, so you just like start all over again?
No.
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 Honestly, okay, so just
I
me.
don't. Okay, this is one of the things also I realized has made me feel old, right? Which I realized while doing this podcast is like, you guys are younger, right? Which is feels like an old man thing to say. But you
What?
guys are
What?
you guys are younger, so a lot of the games that me and Danny have both played because we either rented it at a Blockbuster or it came out and we played it as soon as it came out. No, we've played them. We've done that. You guys have to go. Oh yeah, I once downloaded. Or I just downloaded that. Oh, I just been able to play that because obviously you were like, 4 years fucking old or something like that when the game came out. Probably. You made that point to a few times. You're like, I was 8. Of course I don't play that. I didn't play that game. Oh shit, yeah, I'm 19. You're 8. Of course I'm. So I have the habit of the way I play games. Is if it's out right now, I play it. Like Biomutant, it's out right now. I'm playing it. 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, I'll play the next new game, whatever it may be, and I'll never touch Biomutant again because
So like
I'm
a
on to
couple
the
years
next.
down the line, you're not gonna like come back to that and then just start from the
No,
beginning just because you forget how it went.
no, because there's I usually stick to the game until I get either beat it or get to close enough where I beat it, and then I move on to the next one. Outriders right now, same thing. I probably won't touch Outriders anymore. I'm done. I got all the gear I wanted to get. I have everything, unless it's some awesome fucking DLC that comes out. I probably won't touch that game anymore. You know, Destiny's probably the only exception, but that's because I play with Danny.
That's mostly the only reason why you play that too.
Yeah, yeah. If it wasn't for Danny, I would never play that game. That game, I don't like it. Like, I got bored of it years ago. So yeah, I mean, and again, it's just my like the Nier. Like I've been honestly the only game that I can say that I've gone back to play was the Nier, and even that I only played like an hour, and I was like, fuck it, I can't really get into it. And Control, only because Danny hyped it up so much, and I was like, fuck, let me give this a chance, and then I did, and then I had it because of PS5, I had it for free, and I was just downloading all the games that I wanted to see what it looked like. But even that's a great example of a game that I've gotten to the end and then stopped playing. Yeah, I'm like a few close to beating that game, and I probably won't. Fun game, but why?
Yeah.
I mean, they have their DLC, but to me,
Randy, what about you?
Well, yeah, no, I'm actually terrible at like finishing shit sometimes. Like the best example is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I've restarted that game like 5 fucking times already, and I get to the same point, and I don't know why I just like stopped playing it. But anyways, what I've been playing lately is really just Nier, and I'm gonna get back into Monster Hunter, probably after the stream or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But they added like an update to it apparently, so there's more shit now. Aside from not much else, I did make a lot of progress in here though, so that's good.
Okay.
And what about you? What have you been playing? What are you drinking?
I got a Manhattan today, so
Manhattan?
I meant to. It's a borough in New York.
What?
I wanted to
it
make a
really?
martini, which is why I'm using this glass because it was sitting in my freezer for like a week almost, and it just sat there. So I figured I'd just use it to make my Manhattan. And Manhattan is like a rye. It's a rye whiskey with some sweet vermouth and some bitters. So it's not that strong. It's a bit sweet, a bit strong. It's good. I like it.
It's still like a semi-young person drink. Like you could still have it, in your mid-20s, unlike a Negroni, which you got to be like in your fucking heavy 60s to enjoy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Actually, there's a bartender that I follow on YouTube. He has a couple of bitter cocktails that he's gonna play on his video. The last video he just posted, so I'm gonna watch that later on and find some new ways to use my Campari. But,
Just straight, dude. Just use it that way.
so
Yeah, use it in
so-
shot form.
No, that's too much. That's way too much. But
Campari shooters, come on.
aside from the drink, I've been playing Biomutant also. I'm not as impressed with the game. It's funny enough. I played the game. I played a good maybe 4 hours, maybe 5 total. And I was telling Danny how I feel about it. And funny enough, the things that I said, he was telling me that a lot of reviewers are actually saying the same thing, which is basically it's too much shit in one game and it doesn't have a clear focus on what it wants to be. Like it doesn't have its own identity. Like when you play a game, especially that has like mechanics and stuff that borrows from other franchises and things like that, you still kind of need your game to have its own identity to kind of stand out from the rest. And that Biomutant doesn't really have that.
It
With me,
does, but it's using to stand out from the rest is not good. Like they're trying to do a combination of. I mean, the only thing that stands out is they're trying to do this narrative type of dialogue where you're
so
playing as
annoying.
all these creatures, and then there's all these, the whole world is for these creatures. Creatures don't talk, or they have their own language to say. So they almost like a Sims, or not quite, but like, its own
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
language.
Yeah, it's a Sims language.
No, it's not the Sims language, but it's just they all have their
It's just gibberish though. Yeah.
Gibberish.
Yeah, it's just
Kind of
gibberish.
like actually
So-
it's a lot like fake dialogue from like Legend of Zelda games. Like the way they just it's just weird
that's
shit.
a great
Yeah.
example. That's a great example. But because it does that, they have a narrator that translates everything for you. So throughout the entire game, all you're basically doing is using this, you're hearing this translator try to translate the entire game. So you get this one tone feel of, even when they're trying to describe his backstory and everything, it just still has the same feel when you're supposed to be feeling good things about him, his family dying, not bad, feeling sad for his family dying, all the crazy shit. But the same tone that they use to describe his family dying is the same tone that they're using to describe what your fucking weapon does.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that sounds really fucking horrible. I should hear some nice music, something to get you into that feel. Okay, this is what it is. Oh, I'm feeling sad because these parents are dying, but you're a kid, whatever. But you don't, because it just sounds like somebody's reading a book to you, really boring, and they're bored.
The
And they're
thing is
super bored while
also
reading the
the
book.
thing is also about the game, which is I could understand a lot of people would love this part, but I don't enjoy this part. Is that another thing about a game is pacing. Even with an open world game, it's still pacing. Like they need to give you a little bit of everything, little by little by little. With this game, it kind of gave me everything, not literally everything available, but it pretty much told me what I have available to me from the start almost. And so there's no build up
Yeah.
to like wanted to get something. Hold on. And then, so for example, I just said, I'm only 4 or 5 hours into the game and I already have a giant mech that I can control. I have a mount and I have a fucking water ski to traverse through all the waters and stuff like that. Like I already have all these mechanics into the game as well as the crafting and still searching around and running around and doing whatever it is you want to do, however you want to do it in any order. But I was just like, okay, you just gave me all this stuff now, and it's just making the traversal already so easy. What else are you gonna throw at me? So I was just like, okay, cool, I like it, I guess, kind of. But at the same time, I'm just like, all right, what else is there for me to get?
Yeah, I like I was watching Jay play the game, and I don't know why, but the game felt so off to me, especially with the first boss that you run into, like the first official boss. The way that they tell you to run away afterwards, but I'm like, but you could kill him. But he kept doing the exact same attack move over and over and over, and it's like it didn't change. Like it was like he was stuck doing the exact same motion. And like the dialogue as well. Like there's parts that just don't make sense to me. Like the wheelchair creature you run into that gives you like a whole bunch of dialogue. How the fuck did he get out of the cave? Like that's I was so lost. I was like,
It's a wheelchair accessible cave.
he bet, but you have to climb. Like when you, I'm like, I didn't understand that. And then like, there's some parts that give you like the same dialogue twice. Like later on in the game where you get to talk to like whoever you want to join sides with, that they give you the same dialogue from both sides, and I'm like, that's bad. Like there's no like uniqueness for him talking to one or another. it's like if you
Well,
kill, they like, uh-huh.
well, I was gonna say that I agree 100%, and even what makes it worse is that you can talk to them like you have a choice. The whole game, part of the things that you like light and dark or whatever, so you can
Hmm.
choose to totally be a dick towards them or be an angel. But
Hmm.
their response is almost exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
They
Hmm.
just like finish their thought, you know.
It's like in those Persona games when they give you three of the same options, and it's like, why the fuck you even gave me an option? You could have just like let the
Yeah,
dialogue keep
Yeah.
going. Like that's
that
how I
fucking
felt
drives
like
me
when I was
nuts. Yeah,
watching
you're
that.
right.
I was looking at that like that doesn't make sense. Like I was like, all right,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like whatever side you pick is fine. But
Another another thing I have a problem with the game is the combat. So there isn't no real lock on. It has somewhat of like an auto lock on, which doesn't really stick properly. And then like I like the melee combat a bit more than the gunplay combat. And what
but
the
yeah.
mechanics expect you to do is kind of do a mix of both because it
Mm-hmm.
raises up like this meter that you have in order to do like a special type of thing. So you're encouraged
Well,
to
that,
kind of
even
learn the move sets for
that's actually
both.
a little glitch. That's kind of yes and no, but that's also a little glitch too, because which is I don't like about it. You know how you get two moves, two special moves. And the game doesn't tell you. I figured it out myself. You can't use. They have this thing called Super Wong Fu, which once
Yeah,
you unlock, it's like a super move, right? And then you do it, and
Mm-hmm.
this list of things you can do. It looks pretty cool,
yeah.
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In order to do it, you have to chain. You're supposed to chain three finishing moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they in the beginning when you first start the game, you have four finishing moves. But there's the basic like dodge and attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what considered a finishing move. There's another one you
Mm-hmm.
jump up in the air and you slam the floor. That's technically a finishing move. And then I think you shoot and I forgot what. Whatever. Anyway, those are the basic ones. Those don't count. I don't know if the game's glitched or what, but those don't count towards the Super One. Cool, you can do that all you want, but they won't count. You
Huh.
have to cheese off with the two that you unlock, and the same thing for the
Mm-hmm.
gun. So, or you can, so the two you can unlock. You can't do it back to back. You can't just keep doing the same one. You have to do one move, then switch to the other, and then go back to the first one you do.
Mm-hmm.
Or what the game wants you to do, like Danny said, is you do one move. If you have two melee moves, you do two melee moves, and then you do your gun move. Or you
Mm-hmm.
two melee moves, and you switch over to your other weapon, and you do that. That's what the game wants you to do. But
And it
most
doesn't
time,
work.
I just find myself cheesing the same two melee moves back and just switching back and forth. Because it's
Yeah.
way easier to do that than to try to combine all this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
that's part of the problem of the game is that they have the ability to do so much, or they're trying to give you the ability, I should say, to do a lot. But in
Mm-hmm.
reality, it's not a lot you can do.
Mm-hmm.
It looks flashy and it looks nice, but not really.
Yeah, I like the
You know.
term
Yeah.
that Danny uses. It's more of a double A game. Like there's high, there's a high production value. Like you can tell that they spent a lot of time on it, and they have spent a lot of time on it because this game was revealed like 8 years ago or some shit, and
This game
it's
was
just
supposed to
coming
be
out now.
released. It was supposed to be released in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
they have been dealing with delays since
yeah,
2018. So to
yeah.
finally get it out, again, there's only like 20 people working on it. Like literally, that's their staff of 20 people. So you can't fault them that much, and you got to give it up to them for because the game looks gorgeous. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It
it's
does.
PS4.
Yeah.
It looks great. It looks great. The moves and the way
Mm-hmm.
they do the fight
I like
styles
that
and
little
all this.
comic book style as well. Like you see the little
Oh yeah.
pow and stuff like
I
that.
like the click 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 when you run out of bullets. Oh,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was like it makes me fall in love with it.
Or
Yeah,
even when you do the finishes, it says the name like that. It's cool. Like it has promise if it was given to a AAA studio and then made it like an open, like an MMO. Like this would
Mm-hmm.
be a awesome fucking MMO, or even
Mm-hmm.
like multiplayer of some
Mm-hmm.
sort.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be awesome. But because it's not, and it is what it is, you're not gonna get too much out of it. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't see too much DLC coming out of this in the future because
yeah.
all the
I'm
content
gonna look.
that.
I'm gonna look into it later about how well it's doing, like financially.
Mm-hmm.
Because because hopefully it does okay. It does have potential. But we're gonna move on to something else. So yeah, that was the game I was pretty much playing, which was what was the previous thing. Aside from that, I got a review out for Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl. If you guys want to check that out, go to thedrunkenguardian.com. I reviewed
Sorry,
that game, which is like a retro brawler.
that sounds amazing.
It's not. It's actually not.
So it's just like
It's
more of like a nostalgia trip kind of thing.
it's a
and
nostalgia
nothing
trip
more?
thing, and it's as basic as it gets when it comes to like an arcade brawler. This game is more of like a promotion, I would think, to the actual game that Kevin Smith is working on, which is like a more I guess you could say AAA type of brawler. You'd have to look that up. I forget what the game is called, but this is like more of an add-on to it to kind of just promote the game that they're actually working on. So it's okay. It is what it is.
What's the name of the game that you reviewed again?
Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl Arcade Edition. You guys can also go to thecoalition.com in order to check the review as well. But that was it. I just plugged that in there because that was also the other thing that I was playing recently, and I'm also playing something else which you can't talk about yet, but that's another review that I'm doing. So we're gonna move on to the first article, which is Liza P, which it was a new game trailer that was revealed by NeoWiz and Round 8 Studios recently, and it has the gaming industry intrigued by its premise and the possible gameplay features. So one, it's a dark tale of Pinocchio with P looking for his creator, Mr. Geppetto, with Dark Souls-like gameplay. Part of a Game Informer article says, because you're playing as Pinocchio, one of the core concepts in the game is to lie. Depending on your lies that you tell over the course of the game, the ending will differ. Another part of the article says weapon crafting systems allow players to combine weapons with one another to create new ones. There is also a skill system that taps into the fact that Pinocchio is a doll, allowing him to swap out parts of his body to gain new features and abilities. So this looked really cool. All they released is a CGI trailer. There's no gameplay on it, but I hate CGI trailers because they really tell you nothing about how the game is going to play. Because that's what matters the most is how the game is going to be and how fun it looks. But this trailer actually had me a bit intrigued, and I was wondering what your guys' thoughts were on it. Randy, I didn't hear from you for a while, so I was wondering what your thoughts were first.
Yeah, no, because Biomutant, like, I don't know. So, anyways, I'm interested. Honestly, it does look really cool, but I'm getting two game kind of feels from it. Alice, like the series, American McGee's Alice and Madness Returns, and also Alice.
Oh, okay. Isn't there a game called Malice? That was the evil. Or was it
When you
it was
were
the Alice? Yeah, it was Alice.
okay, go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, so I feel
Love that game, by the way. Love that game.
the second one was interesting, but what is it? So yeah, I get like kind of Alice vibes from it because of the Victorian setting that it's like kind of in, right? And also Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
the very kind of like dark, wintry, ashen kind of environment.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very grandiose, but also I'm really hoping that it doesn't pull either one of the two. Because Lords of the Fallen was pretty lackluster. It was obviously like it wanted to be.
It was a bare bones Dark Souls.
Yeah. It was like a Darksiders, Dark Souls kind of hybrid that fell very flat in between both of them. So that didn't really do anything. And Alice, as beautifully designed as the game was, it was also still very lackluster. Like the weapon feel from it, the combat, everything felt like weighed down, so it didn't really seem intriguing. But the concept of the lies, it does seem like it's gonna be more kind of character interaction based as opposed to combat based, if anything. But that either way, like it's just a trailer and a couple screenshots that they show, but either way it looks beautiful, it looks creepy, and I don't think that Pinocchio was a very happy tale to begin with, so it's kind of cool to see it like being so fucking grim.
Yeah, the original story was pretty dark.
Yeah.
Kevin,
But I
what
think
about
a lot
you?
of the all from those a lot of
Most
the
of the
original
Disney
stories, or all the
stories.
Disney stuff, are
Yeah.
super creepy when you hear the original ones.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no, of course. And I don't mean just fucking Disney, but I mean there are other, lighthearted versions of said things that try to ride
Yeah,
off of Disney's success, if anything.
Hmm.
yeah.
Kevin, what are your
Surprised.
thoughts on?
Disney
I'm
ain't the only one that did it. All right,
Oh
Kevin,
shit,
go.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on the
Okay.
game?
Okay, yeah.
I like it. I hope it. I was scared that Randy was gonna say my thought because he was like Alice and Lords of the Fallen, and I was like, oh, thank God he didn't say it. So the feel I'm getting is Bloodborne vibes from how
Hmm.
it looks, and I
Yeah,
hope
that's
that
what
it
they're
runs,
comparing it to.
and I hope it runs as fast as Bloodborne. But if it is like story based, I would rather they focus on the story than combat. Like combat be second, story be first, and then it's like it. I hope it really reels you in, like it's an actually good story about being a real boy running around and killing people or other puppets or like whatever's going on in that and the story. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm always excited for
New
Souls like
franchise?
games.
Okay.
Yeah, just Souls like games in general,
That
and
that's a
seeing
good
this one's
point,
gonna be amazing.
actually. It's a good point because that would actually set it apart from the rest of the Dark Souls stuff. Is that it would be more
Mhm.
story focused because, although Dark Souls is very lore focused, there's a difference between lore and story. Dark Souls and
Mhm.
Bloodborne, they have a lot of lore that you have to kind of look into yourself, which is very
I
different
hate that.
from the actual story that like it actually already shows. So it would be cool to actually have a legit story in a Dark Souls type thing. Before we
Yeah.
go to Danny, real quick, is the chat working for you guys at all? Can you guys like type in something, because like my thing is stuck on like a refresh thing, and I don't know if I can see
Yeah,
anything
it's
going
working.
on. Okay,
It's
so I
working for
do
me.
see you. Good. Penis, yes.
Nice.
Of course.
Well, at least
Yeah.
you know it's working.
Okay, so
It's
now
working and jerking, you know?
so so now Danny, what were your thoughts on the trailer and the
I thought it
news?
looked cool. I mean, again, like you said, it was a CGI challenge. The first thing I thought of, like, gee, to me, you can never go, this game's gonna be great because you didn't actually see anything, so nothing. Chat's good, you saw nothing else probably in the game. I mean, there's a good chance that none of that actually winds up in the game, or parts of it. So that's annoying. But the concept behind it, if they do it right, I think it would be good. Like you said, a Dark Souls with story would be awesome. Having a game that's actual storyline wise, and you can
Hmm.
do stuff that's not just lore but story. It's gonna be
Hmm.
fun. I'm surprised. Like I said, I was gonna say that they. I feel like maybe they won't say Pinocchio and Geppetto, or maybe I don't know. But I feel like I'm surprised that Disney letting this happen.
Disney
And
doesn't
I
own
feel like
that.
No, it's free domain. It's basically Dracula.
Yeah, it's free
That's
domain.
why
okay,
Castlevania has like all these fucking Dracula games and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's not
that's,
Dracula.
Public domain.
If you
Public
let him,
domain. There we go.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 It can't be Dracula. The game is called Castlevania.
Yeah,
No, if it's
Yeah.
Alucard, it's totally fine. But if it's
But I mean
Dracula,
I
fucking
mean
legal issues.
they can easily, even if they did own it for whatever reason, they could just call the guy P as in the title, and then Geppetto,
yeah,
they could
Hmm.
just name him
G.
G. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could do a lot of things with that, and still people are, you would think at least, are smart enough to understand the
Oh, you'd
connection
be
between the
surprised.
two. Who knows? But
Now my
We're,
my
we're, we're
my
not
the
gonna talk about
problem
that.
is the problem that I'm having right now, not now, but whatever, is them jumping on the Dark Souls bandwagon.
hmm
I feel like that can get
Been there, done that.
saturated easily
I
and
posted
be
that on
too
my
many
Twitter. Yeah, like
have too
like
many games that are gonna be Dark Soul-esque because
yeah.
like they did Star Wars, they did this,
I'm
and then
I'm
Star Wars.
done. I'm done with the Dark Souls stuff. Like even like now, like we were playing Demon Souls for a while, and although it was a nice nostalgia trip and everything like that, I almost got to the ending. But like I'm just
That
tired of.
game
I
got to the ending.
yeah,
Man,
right.
Oh
stop
my
See,
God, he's rubbing off on you.
but I got sick of the games. I really did. Like it's not even because of like the difficulty. It's just that they're all the same to me. And I just got tired of it. So when I
I have
first saw
never
the
beaten a Dark
trailer,
Souls game, but I've played them all.
I've beat them
You know,
all.
I get to the ending of every single one of them, and then go, okay, I'm souped up. I don't really care.
Yeah, I love the series. It's just but right now since it's getting so saturated, because then they got Sekiro and then Bloodborne, and then they got Elden Ring, which is still announced as a Dark Souls type thing, and then now this. So I was just like, enough
Final
of
Fantasy
this.
also announced that they're gonna come out with a Dark Souls game too as well.
So,
Yeah.
who?
yeah, but the thing with the whole I would say that because I would call it a genre. It's a genre of its
Yeah.
own game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Every
Souls-like.
every
Yeah.
Souls-like game, there is few and far between that I've seen that are really good. Like I picked one up that was called Little Witch. Little Witch is a Souls-like game, and it's fucking amazing. It has a really good story. And then there was another one that I believe it's called Blue Flame or Blue Blade, and it has amazing gameplay. But the story is like it makes you want to learn more about it. Like it doesn't give you the whole lore of like, oh, his father died and now he's doing this and whatever. And then the game is very cute. Like the character is small, like you can literally open a chest, jump inside the chest and hide in the chest. Just if you want to do that. Like it's like I like the Souls like idea. I just don't want that to be like the blueprint and then the final product. Like I would be like that's the blueprint, but you could do whatever you want. Like you could like chef it up. You don't have to make the same meal everybody else is making. Make it different. You know what I mean?
So
Add some sprinkles on it. Or
so in saying like cute Souls-like character hiding and all that stuff, the baby of two games that first came to mind, Hollow Knight and Little Nightmares.
Hollow
Oh
Knight.
my God.
Yes. Well, Little
Little
Nightmares doesn't
Nightmares,
play
yeah.
like that. Little
Little
Nightmares is more of a
No, no, no.
platformer.
In terms of like hiding and stuff, not like obviously
Okay.
like Souls, like but like
No.
Hollow Knight is a Souls like platformer
Yes.
technically.
Yes.
The Salt and Sanctuary is also a 2D Souls like.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying like in the whole cutesy thing, Hollow Knight's fucking adorable. Little Nightmares is creepy, but also adorable as fuck. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like in the aspect of it's not even like you can hide in the chest. It's like if you want to just like go in the chest and cover yourself, like the character is literally that small that they fit inside of a chest, and like you can't even hide in the game. You have the parry system, you have the combat, you have the stamina, but the the game is mainly focused on like platforming, which I like. I always find interesting if you can add that into like a Souls-like game, because platforming is hard in general. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to make that like a balance of Souls-like and platforming at the same time. Good game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's honestly a good game.
Cool. All right. So we're going to move on from that. And we have not really articles again. It was more of just some game reveals, and we watched some videos of like gameplay and just talking about the game itself. So we were originally supposed to talk about the reveal last week of Deathloop and how the gameplay actually works and everything. So we're going to talk about it now this week. With Deathloop, it explains more about how the gameplay works when it comes to spending one day trying to assassinate all these people. So it's kind of like a Hitman style game, except what did it call it? Like it was like a roguelike Hitman. So you're trying to get all these people.
Sci-fi.
You're trying to get all these people together or as close as possible to try to kill as many all at once in one day before like somebody catches wind of you, and then they kind of try to escape or try to hide or make things difficult for you to assassinate the next person. You're stuck in a time loop, so you have to kill these targets within that one day in order to break the time loop. Now the catch is also on the trailer is that is a little PvP element, which I think is really cool. Is that people will be joining your game, basically sabotaging you, trying to stop you from killing these these targets. So with all that information and stuff, I thought it was really cool, and I was wondering what is your thoughts on that as well. And we start with Danny.
I like the concept of you having to. It's like the ultimate Hitman for people who like those games. It's you having to prep your targets. It's supposedly you have to go to certain, like you have the option, like a Mega Man type thing, where you can choose any level or any part of the world or whatever you want.
And the
to
time
go
as
that
well.
day. And the time, yeah, and the time as well, because when you do something and during at night, it affects or do something at day, it affects how they're gonna come to at night. So the whole idea is that if you can get 2 or 3 people in the same area at night because you did X, Y, and Z in the morning, you know, that's how you assassinate 3, and then you keep going. And the way the game progresses is that you gain every time you go to do something, you gain knowledge about where they're gonna be, so you can get that perfect run, that perfect day. And I can see that being interesting because you can get all shaky and shit, and then know, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm finally gonna, finish this day. I think I got everybody set up. And it seems kind of interesting. I mean, I probably won't play it. I'm not gonna lie to you
Really?
because it seems like a lot. Like I can't play the Hitman games because
Too time consuming?
and all types of shit. Yeah, it seems way too consuming for me. It
Mm.
seems fun. It's just I don't think I can really fully get into it the way it's supposed to. That's just me though. But I can see if I had resources to actually think and play the game, I think I would like it.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to.
Okay. Randy, what about you?
And also the PvP was interesting because the PvP they said it's basically the version of Dark Souls and how they do PvP
Yeah.
where it comes in.
Yeah.
Fuck with you and you gain XP or whatever the hell you get.
With
Whatever it
like
is.
invaders and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That reminds me of another game. Also, didn't do too good. This one's pretty shit. Mindjack. Where basically you were able to kind of like fuck with people's games and like play as an NPC and just like try to kill them, if anything. The concept was interesting. It was just executed very poorly. But no, it seems pretty interesting. It looks like a good game. Every time like they show something off about it, whether it's like another trailer or whatever, it's never anything that's so like, oh, get hyped about this. But they show enough that could still pique your interest just in case like it wavered a little bit, if anything. Because they're pacing themselves really well with like what they're showing and what they're not. Like there's still a lot left to like the imagination and to find out for yourself in playing. Clearly I had a different grasp than Danny did on the on how it works, because I thought it was you had to complete it in that set kind of thing, because it's
You mean it was like
What
time
is it?
limited?
yeah. Like if you pick the map in the day, that's when you have to complete it, not that like what you did in a day can carry over into the night. Because it was like what 4 different variations of each map.
Which
Yeah,
leads
so,
leads to about 16 different ways to.
Yeah,
I think they said 16.
Yeah, because it's 4 different maps with 4 different variations each. So I thought that it was just like, well, you have to finish it in finish one of the maps in one of its 4 variations. But if it's like from start to finish and playing the whole thing throughout all 4, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah,
it's like
it's supposed to be,
one
yeah.
big level that has all these different like factors into it. Because obviously everything has its like control factors, where if this thing is happening in the first part and it's not going to happen in the second part, but now it's going to change because what you did in the first and the third is totally fucking different because of all this. That's like that's a lot of possibilities to play the fucking thing
It
through.
is. And I agree, and that's the aspect that I like about it. I like that. Like I want to see somebody play it. I don't want to play it myself. I want to see somebody play it. I like
Dude,
that.
then just fucking tune in to the Drunken Guardian Gaming stream. Come on. Danny over here is going to be playing it for us.
Wait, who's that?
Plug.
It'll be fun. And then
Who's the Drunken Guardian?
Guardian.
I think it'll be
It's
interesting
our
to
host,
see.
Danny Martino.
Oh,
Yeah, and I
jeez.
might try it a little bit. I might buy it and try it a little bit. We'll see. Depends on what's out at the time.
Are you going to rent it from Blockbuster?
I wish, man. I'm thinking about
Or-
Hey,
Yeah, I was gonna say Gamefly.
Gamefly is still alive.
No,
I-
is
I-
it?
Gamefly is still alive.
I
Gamefly is
love
so
my
alive.
GameFly and oops, I delivered this. I mailed the game back. I don't know what's wrong with you. Sorry.
Yeah,
Maybe
Down
it got
the road,
lost.
They cut your service off, and then you do a new email.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And they're like, wait, this address looks familiar.
Just hacking the system. Huh?
They
Huh.
when I told you
1,
the
2,
address,
3
your
Fake
address,
Street.
They said your
Oh,
address
man, I
has
need to
been
know where-
compromised, blah blah
There we go.
blah. And then I realized that if you use somebody else's name and either the address, then it still does it.
All right, Kevin. What about you? What do you think of the news?
Okay, cool. I had to keep my excitement away because I didn't want to interrupt anybody, and I was just trying to keep my thoughts focused. So
Yeah, go ahead.
I okay. No. Go ahead. Go first.
No, I was just gonna
What do
say
you want?
that at least you're the patient one there.
Nah, because I seen the concept of it, and it immediately in the I don't know why, but that snapped, and the first thing I thought was Dying Light. So in Dying Light, they had the system that you can be invaded by a monster, and the monster is another player.
I did not
But the
know that.
player is yes, and the player is just as smart or smarter than you. So when the monster invades you, it becomes a game of cat and mouse. So if you can kill the monster, then he leaves, and then you can continue your mission. But while the monster is there, you cannot complete the mission, and you have to kill him. And if he kills you a certain amount of times, then that's it. You fail the mission. Everybody gets kicked from the lobby, and then you have to start the mission, or you have to start the mission again because everybody died. That's what I thought when I saw the PvP aspect of the Deathloop. But the concept of it being like 16 different, very like 16 ways to play the game out, and it's like some ways will work, some ways won't. Uh, I'm trying to figure out if it's a rogue like that every day will be random, every event will be random, or would it be like day is going to be the same, night's going to be the same, evening's going to be the same. I mean,
No.
day, morning, so it's going to be completely different every time.
Yes, depending on the time of day,
Okay.
influences where they're at, what they're doing. They're going about the day as normal unless you're influencing what they're doing to change their
Okay.
course.
And then I guess you get information that automatically will influence what they're doing. So it'll make
Yeah.
getting passcodes and like that for stuff that you can only access. Like they showed an example, I think it was save or something that you can only access at night, and it has some kind of information about where someone was going to be. So you have to get the code basically in the day, and then at night get the save, restart the
Okay.
loop to utilize the information you now have.
So it would be like, for example, a certain guard would have the code, right? Like just for example, the certain guard will have a code. You kill the guard that day, so when you come back at night, you can go to the safe, unlock the safe, and then get whatever you get, and then continue the mission.
Yeah, because
But
that
it
safe
won't be-
because that safe
I
could
think that's how they
possibly
have.
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I think that's how they have levels as well. Is that you start off with, in town A, whatever it is, and you keep doing whatever, you get as much information you can until they tell you, okay, in town B, so and so is gonna be there. So you now have to find more information in town B, but then you have to go back to town A to get probably more information to go to town B, and every level kind of unlocks until you
Yeah.
can get this perfect day.
Yeah, I was gonna say like because that safe that you're talking about, for example, it could have been guarded by three people, and you have the code, but you can't really get around these three people. So maybe you wait until a certain time or influence what their let's say the patrol routes or something, so they can get away from that safe, and then you jump in and kind of take advantage.
Because they're
Okay.
also making it sound like they keep stressing that it's not a roguelike, that you're not gonna die and have to restart it over and over and over and over
Yeah.
to learn it. So I think it really is, yes, technically the whole world is in a day, but you basically have to finish level A to get to level B, and you're basically going to be able to do almost everything you can do in level A while you're there. You might have to go back and forth a little bit, but it's not going to be a lot of repetition.
Yeah, because
you
that's
know.
that's what I was asking. Like, is every day going to be like I would say time, I guess, would be the same. Like, would the exact same events happen unless you
Yeah.
influence it? Unless
Yeah.
unless you influence it, right? Like if I go to like whatever, it would change.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Okay.
why it's going to be interesting. That's why I kind of do want to play it, because I can't play Hitman. It's just too much setup stuff. Way too much.
So if it's a little
and
bit
this
more
is not like
fast
that,
paced,
so-
if it's a little bit more fast paced to the point where like you don't really have to think as much or wait as much, then you're okay with that.
Yeah, because it has cool powers and stuff and all this crazy stuff that I want to try. So I do want to try it,
Yeah.
Like even like Returnal, like I've been having trouble going back to it because so much repetition of you doing the same shit over and over until you get the perfect run to finish.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just you can't do that. So if it's just more fast paced with it's like one of those linear but not linear games kind of thing where you do have to do X, Y, and Z, to get to A or whatever, or A, B, C, and let's get to D. I would do that, but we'll see.
All right. Done with that one there. We're gonna go on to Horizon. So today we pushed a couple of articles that we were going to talk about today, specifically because Horizon Forbidden West was revealed today, and we got to see some gameplay footage of that. and we are going to talk about it. I sent the video to everybody so everybody could get an idea of what it's looking like. It was fucking stunning. I don't think there was too much of a change to the core gameplay of what Horizon is, but I was more amazed at the fucking graphics and how fluid it was and detailed it was, extra little features and stuff like that. That was amazing. So and of course the story. I was really really fascinated by the story of the first game. So for the second one to get deeper into that kind of stuff was something that I'm excited for. Uh, that's pretty much it. Randy, what'd you think of the trailer or the gameplay footage?
Hello.
Yeah,
It was neat, I guess.
I guess.
I
knew you were
didn't play
gonna
the
say
first
that.
one. Yeah, I didn't play the first one, so I don't really have like an opinion on how it is. It looks pretty. That
Yeah.
that's cool, I suppose. I feel like I would really need to play the first one to like see if I'd be into the second one, because the monsters did look dinosaurs. I mean, Dinomechs, whatever the fuck. They look intriguing. The raptor one that had like the two kind of like chainsaws on like the lower jaw,
Yeah.
that looked absolutely fucking adorable.
Adorable.
Yeah, because it was colorful and looked doofy as hell, and it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to pet it. It looked like Kevin from Up, the
Kevin.
snipe,
Kevin?
the bird from Up.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was about
yeah,
to say,
yeah, yeah,
Kevin's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah,
bird.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Kevin's the bird. Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
it,
Yeah.
it looks very vibrant, and I think that's like it, as eye catching as it is. It would still have to come down for what is it, for like the gameplay and the story itself.
So that's what
Because
I was going to mention. So if you haven't played the first one, and you're iffy about the second because you haven't played the first one, I would really suggest to play the first one, if not for the gameplay, because it's still somewhat not exactly generic, but it pulls from a lot of games you've already played before. But the story is very unique. It's very much its own thing, which I think you would like a lot more than anything else in the game.
okay, so well, I'll take your word for it. As long as you're not like recommending fucking Uncharted to me, then I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do it.
What if it's Uncharted?
No, because yeah,
If
Uncharted
the
is
second
is the
game
is
is
the
basically the
generic.
first game,
Uncharted is the generic treasure hunting, crazy adventure game. It's the same beat every single game. That's completely different. This game, Horizon, if it focuses a lot on like a post-apocalyptic stuff and why these robots are there, why there is a tribal civilization, uh, why the world is the way it is. It was a bit unexpected on how they explain all that stuff, and it goes in very good detail on how or and why that happens in the first place too. So, yeah, I would really suggest playing that first one.
okay, I'll take your word for it. Well,
I have to
the
finish
reasoning
it.
behind all of it, just I'm not gonna say spoil it for me, but does it make sense?
Yes,
Okay, cool. That's it.
absolutely.
Done. I'll do it.
Kevin, what
Just
about you?
let me finish Nier first,
Yeah, go ahead.
and then possibly Automata, and then we'll
Oh,
get to that.
oh, you're gonna go to Automata too?
Oh hell, of course, dude. The fuck?
Jesus. Kevin, what do you think of the gameplay?
Okay. You really want to know what I think about the gameplay?
Yeah. Wow. he,
Get a load of
he
this
just
guy.
he just signed off. If anybody's just listening to the audio.
Why?
I never played it. It was
Ugh,
one of those games that it was so everybody was talking about it and it looked
yeah.
so good, but then I was like, I didn't like those type of games, and I still don't now.
What type
It
of
looks
games?
like
Survival crafting, I'm assuming.
survival crafting.
Hmm.
It's not my thing. I never found them interesting, and then
Now I gotta
I,
go in deeper with that though. What are you considering survival crafting? Because although there is crafting in the game, I wouldn't call it a survival game.
no, not like survival crafting, like crafting in the aspect of how they do it, like in Tomb Raider, like can you craft
Yes.
arrows?
Yes.
So that was the concept I had when I
Okay.
was like, oh, it's. I'm not saying like I was saying like, oh, it's like Tomb Raider just with like robot dinosaurs. It was just like I was like, oh, this crafting system. Oh, they came out
Yeah.
with Tomb Raider. I was like, if I play it, I'd play it. But everybody playing it kind of ruined the story for me because everybody was talking about the story while like I never played the game.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I'm just not gonna play it now because it's to the point that I don't want to play it, be sport and know what's going on. Like I want to be like lost in it, like lost in the game as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the game looks amazing. I'm not saying the game looks bad. It was just the story got spoiled for me. So I was like, well, I can't
Now,
play it.
without any spoilers, because I was gonna say for Randy, if anything, like if you don't want to go through the game, because I gotta understand if the game itself, like the mechanics and such, is not for you. So maybe just YouTube the entire story to try to like get caught up with it, and then maybe try the second one. But for Kevin, without spoilers, what was it about it that like did the story not interest you at all? Like you said, it was spoiled for you, so you just didn't want to like
Yeah,
continue on with it.
yeah, like it was the concept of not knowing why these robots or creatures, because you end up finding out they're the creatures or robots depending on whatever you want to use them on. Why they're there
The
and like
just call them Zoids. How about that?
yeah, no, don't do that because I love Zoids. All right, so the Zoids
I
from
call them
Battle Legend,
Zords.
Zords,
Zords works too.
Zords. Like I I like the idea of like what they're doing, but for me, I it couldn't like I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I couldn't care less.
Mhm.
Like I've seen so many robot things that would come out that year, and like at that year, the same year that Horizon came out, I believe Marvel Infinite came out, and I was still in like
Oh man,
I'm still in like
you're
Marvel's
missing
Capcom?
you're missing the game that killed. I wouldn't say killed Horizon, but overshadowed Horizon by a lot, which is Breath of the Wild.
oh, I played Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that game came out the same day.
I know, but I bought Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
I didn't pay attention to Horizon
of
because
course.
I was so hooked to Switch that I enjoyed it. I love Breath of the Wild, and I was like, I like I like it, but I'm playing Breath of the Wild, so I'll get to it eventually. And then what is it like 3 years pass or a year and a half or 2 years passed, and I still haven't played the game. And like now that I find out that this is happening, I was like, oh, there was a second part, man.
Well, the game,
Can't be me.
the game did end with a cliffhanger. Like there was still closure for the main story to explain like the world and everything, but there was still a cliffhanger of like how it could continue, which was interesting. Man, this is disappointing. You guys aren't excited about it that like I am. Like I really am, and it's not really because of the gameplay, because the gameplay is pretty much like you said. It's a lot like other stuff. It's like a bit of the crafting system. It's a bit of just collecting a bunch of shit so you can make more stuff. But it was a story for me that got me. That's what I really liked about it.
I'll watch the story, and try to catch up.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'll.
just do that.
I think because I haven't played it and I was already told it. I'd rather just watch somebody play the game than play it myself, because I don't want to be like, oh, the story is bad for me or whatever, and then take my negative output as like the end all be all. Like I would rather watch somebody play it, explain like the game or whatever, and then enjoy that with them rather than just shit on the game because of like just cause, you know what I mean? I like
Yeah.
giving a game a fair chance.
Yeah. Danny.
I think I'm not too thrilled about it either, but only because I played the game. I played the first game and I liked it, but this to me just feels like Horizon 1.5.
You said that before, yeah.
It's just it's gonna elaborate on the story, which is cool because that the story was fun and how they put everything together and the robots and this apocalyptic world or whatever. It was good, and you do want to know more, but this game looks exactly like it plays like the first one. It looks exactly like the first one. Everything looked. The mechanic of that boss fight that they showed with that elephant, it was the same fucking mechanic that you fight every fucking big boss in that game. You blow some pieces off of them, you pick up the gun that falls off of them, you shoot the big points, and then you end it and it's, yeah, it looks great. They slapped a nice coat of paint on it, but it's still the same fucking game.
You know when you said
and
sorry for cutting you off, Danny. You know, as soon as you said cut piece off and use it as a weapon, I immediately thought of Monster Hunter. I was like, oh, it's fucking Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
honestly, that I played both of those at the same time. I
that
played the
is a good
Monster Hunter and I
comparison.
played that, and they fucking looked exactly the same. And it was very
Mm,
hard. Like I think I stopped playing Horizon to play Monster Hunter because I was a little late
mhm,
on it, and
mhm,
then playing Monster Hunter just made me want to finish Horizon more type of thing because it just reminded me so much of it. And again,
mhm,
the first game has a lot of fun things, the tracking and all that, and the way you do the hunts and the way you have to like really think about how you hunt these people. It's just the monsters. It's really fun, but this doesn't look like it's anything different and kind of disappointing. It looks like it's
mhm.
going to be the same thing. I mean, and again, if they don't know that teaser, who knows what they do when they get put on a new world, it might be completely different. But I feel like it's going to be that much different for some reason.
Hmm.
You
So
know what I'm actually kind of fearing? That it's gonna be a Last of Us Part Two kind of situation,
What do you mean?
yes,
where it's like the first game did really well, and they were like kind of striving off of the success of it. Like,
yes.
did does it feel like there's a need for a sequel for Horizon?
Well,
Honestly,
okay.
because realistically speaking, Last of Us, it did end on a cliffhanger as well, but it ended at a really good cliffhanger where it didn't need a part two at all. So, does Horizon need the second part,
So
or is it kind of just like a nice tack on?
to answer the comment for you and for Danny's thing. So the way that it ended in part one, yes, it does need a second part. Because of the way that it left the cliffhanger. But to also, you guys, both of you guys are absolutely right because Danny is saying that this Horizon is more of a 1.5, which I can't agree with because so far what we've seen, it doesn't look like there's too much that's new aside from a good, a new fresh paint. It's better graphics. Is pretty much it. It's still the same platforming. There's still the same hunting. There's still the same everything that we've seen so far. So unless they're bringing in a little bit of something new to the game mechanics itself, not just the story, because the story may be something that, like for example, Kevin is not really that interested in. It's the gameplay for him. So if they're not bringing enough gameplay for it, it really is just a 1.5, and there was no need to make this game.
mm. I feel like if it's personally, it's gonna give me the same feel of I could watch somebody play that. It's not a walking simulator, but if the story is that
Far
good
from
that it makes you want to play, like yeah, it's not the walking simulator. But if the story overshadows the game, then I'm like, well, I could just I could do what Danny was talking about last week, and he was like, I could just watch the movie.
Yeah.
I could watch the movie of the game and just watch it and enjoy that. But I feel I feel like it's a game that you would want to play. Like you guys played Near. I've never played Near. I still haven't. And I want to play the game. But this game is like I can watch the story and I could be like, it's just not doing it for me. Like I don't want to give an opinion because I personally just don't like the story of robots and like them being whatever. Like I was like, I've seen Transformers. I've seen every robot movie that came out and it was like a pet or whatever or a monster. And I was like, I've been there, done that. But I'm like, if the story is good, I'll give it a try. Like because I want to at least play the first one and be like, all right, I didn't like it. I don't like the story. I'll give it like 35 hours. I'm like, it's all right. I tried it. And this it's just the story. But the breaking pieces and everything, I was like, if it's Monster Hunter, I was like, I'm really not gonna like the gameplay. The
Yeah.
story's gonna have to hook me in the first, I would say, 2-3 hours max, because then I'll
Again,
lose interest very fast.
the gameplay is really well done. I mean, there's no shitting on the gameplay of the first one.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's really well done. I mean, actually playing that game, it blows Monster Hunter and all those fucking games out of the water. Like I said,
Of
it made
course.
me
Excuse me.
playing
Hold on.
Monster Hunter
Excuse
made me
me.
wanna,
Excuse me. What?
yeah,
Hold on. What?
fuck
Huh?
that game.
What?
It
What?
blew it out of
Fuck
the water.
Final Fantasy.
Hold
It
on, hold
blew.
on, hold on. Come on.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Be respectful. Be respectful.
Well, again, I'm also talking about World, the one you didn't like.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Oh
Listen,
yeah.
But
Okay.
that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's the one that me and Danny played the most.
yeah,
For Danny, kind of
World.
got into Monster Hunter World. Yeah.
I
yeah.
feel like sorry. I'll let you finish. I'll finish afterwards.
But the gameplay is solid, and if anybody who plays is gonna like the gameplay. because they do everything kind of smart. They do those hunts really smart, really fun. The way they do all you getting your weapons and getting your ammo and armor and like the RPG element of getting badass armor is just it's really well done. And then to tie that in, there's a great story, which a lot of times you don't get hand in hand. But the problem is that I think the sequel will be just more of exactly the same, which I hate when sequels do that. I absolutely hate when sequels are just the same game, part two. Like that drives me. I mean, 1.5. That drives me nuts.
I I I like sequels sometimes, not thirds. Trilogies is not my thing. Sequels are good because you sometimes get a good conclusion. You know what I mean? Like a good conclusion for a game. Uh, Not always, but uh, this game I felt like it did need a sequel on how it ended, how the story like led up to everything that happened. I felt like it did need a sequel, like just for the conclusion's sake. But I hope it's not like some outlandish unnecessary thing that nobody really cared, like nobody's like, oh, like everybody does the little, they suck their teeth. Like I was like, I really just spent like $60 on this to get disappointed or whatever. Like I hope that the ending is really like fucking AAA movie title good, like nobody expects it, and then like hopefully they don't do a trilogy like that.
I
Hopefully
think I
they
think
stay
they
with
will. Aloy has become has honestly become very iconic. Aside from regardless of how you like the game or not, like Aloy is a big franchise face now. So I would think they would at the very least make it a trilogy and come out with a third game after Forbidden West.
But then you think part three would be part two? I mean, part actually
An
2.0.
actual part. I would hope so because and the reason why I would say yes is because Forbidden West is coming so early into the PS5 cycle. By the time the third game comes out, the developers will learn to use the technology a lot more and use it to their advantage. So I would hope anyways that the third game they will come out with some advanced stuff and new gameplay mechanics and things like that to kind of really like ramp up the gameplay.
Got you. But there's a positive I can say. I like the alligator in the trailer. I mean, the demo. I was about to say, there's a fucking alligator in this thing. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
But
yeah. There's
amazing.
quite a few cool stuff in the first game. Like
Yeah,
there was giant alligators and birds, like these like
oh,
fucking huge ass birds and stuff. And
and there was like giraffes, right?
yeah, there was these giant giraffes in there. Uh, God, the T Rexes. Yeah, the raptors. You had like antelope and like wolves and stuff, kind of in a way. Yeah, no, it was cool. And now they got some new stuff coming out. They even have. I never got to play the DLC, which was like I think it was an ice
Yeah,
environment
it
or
was like a
something like
snow
that.
world.
Yeah, so I
So,
never got to play that one and see all the new creatures that they introduced.
all right. So I'll definitely give it a try. I mean,
Oh,
I got nothing else to do.
if anything, you could watch me play it.
Are
There
you
you
gonna
go.
play it?
Horizon, yeah, I'm down to do it.
Will this be the first game you stream?
Probably not, but I
Uh,
mean,
All right.
if you do it on
uh,
if you do it on PC, we share in Parsec. I'm gonna just watch
Yeah,
you
right.
do it. And be like, yeah, it's my turn. Yeah, it's my turn.
sure, why not?
All right, so I'm gonna move on to I'm gonna change the window here. We're gonna move on to Phantom Abyss. So every now and then on the show, I like to post up a video or we'll show a video to everybody to kind of like get some exposure for some random game that a lot of people probably haven't heard of that might be interesting for some. So we'll watch the video together. It's about a 2 minute and 10 second video, and we'll talk about our thoughts on it. So let me move on to that right here. Oh, wonderful. It's going to buffer on me now.
Oh,
In Phantom Abyss, players are cast into procedurally generated temples and tasked with retrieving the sacred relics buried within. Intrepid adventurers will dodge scores of hidden traps, leap treacherous chasms, or flee relentless guardians through branching paths until one of the relics are claimed, or the temple overwhelms them. But be warned, you only get one attempt, so make it count. Phantom Abyss is an asynchronous multiplayer game where temples are filled with the phantoms of players who came before and met their demise. Use their clever moves and unfortunate missteps to your advantage and make it further than anyone that's come before. Equipped with a whip, players must navigate a unique arrangement of obstacles, traps, and rooms. Along the path are a series of powerful relics to obtain. Players will be given a choice to grab a relic, freeing some phantoms and earning new whips, or delving deeper into more treacherous territory. At the end of the temple lies the most powerful relic. Claiming it will seal the temple forever, meaning only one person in the world may claim it. Will it be you?
All right, so there's that. So I want to hear from Randy first, actually, because he actually gave a really good description of what this game, what kind of vibes it gives off.
What was it I said? Multiplayer temple run?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you did.
There we go.
Yeah, so what are
I
your
was trying to
thoughts?
find the actual phrase that I had.
I found out this game's actually not technically multiplayer.
It's
No.
it's what is it? Like the ghosts. Like whenever like a
you're
racing game.
You're viewing other
They're the
people who had
ghosts
played the level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're viewing them who they played the level and they died, so that you can see how they died.
So yeah, basically ghosts in a racing game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is-
I'm thinking like Dark
this-
Souls, like so you can see like the ghosts of previous players and how they died, so you can kind of learn from their
Yeah.
mistakes,
Yeah.
It always comes down to Dark Souls, doesn't it?
isn't it?
It's a Dark
I
Souls.
know, right?
It's a Dark Souls podcast.
It's the temple run of Dark Souls.
I should mention real quick before you even go to the thoughts, like these guys are like AAA indie. Who was it that said that also?
Me as well.
Yeah, so like AAA indie, I like that because this is Devolver, which had
And
made
Devolver has shit so many things.
I love
Hotline
Minute,
Miami,
Hotline Miami, Enter the Gungeon,
Katana Zero,
Titan
Katana's- oh my
Souls. Titan Souls was
Titan
another one which I loved.
Mother Russia Bleeds.
Serious Sam.
They didn't start with Serious Sam though, right?
No,
Serious
they
Sam was,
continued after the second one.
Yeah, but wasn't it what was it? 3D Realms? It wasn't id, right?
No.
Who the fuck did Serious
I
Sam in the beginning? I feel like it was 3D Realms. I could be wrong on that one.
But yeah, Devolver's a well-known developer, but they always kind of stuck with an indie vibe. It was always a bit like low budget, but it was still AAA gameplay. So this is something I'm still willing to try just because it looks like a lot of fun. It's like a fucking temple run and Indiana Jones. Danny, I think me and you probably, I hope you guys catch this reference, but this kind of reminds me of like an adult version of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put up. I
Oh,
just
that
heard
was my
Legend,
favorite-
and I was like, what the fuck?
Legends of the Hidden Temple. Of course, that was my favorite TV show.
That was on Nick,
you,
wasn't
were
it?
you even born?
Yes. No, I saw it reruns. That was my show.
That's like me bringing up In Living Color. It's like I was definitely not born for that.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I wasn't even thought of at the time.
Yeah. Which by the way, Legends of the Temple, they're actually bringing it back. They're reviving that show.
Yeah, I think they tried to bring it back already. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it died. Are they gonna bring it back again? Come
They're
on,
gonna
just
bring it
let
back again.
just let-
They're not gonna focus on the kids. It's gonna be an adult, like not an adult as in like rated R type of show, but it's gonna be focused on adult contestants.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
But
gonna be
yeah,
like the-
so
It's like, oh, your trophy is in my pants.
so Rand, what are your thoughts
Dan?
of the game?
It's like I said, kind of multiplayer temple run, but like with parkour. The whip seems interesting. I'm trying to think of like other games that it reminds me of because there's definitely just a bunch of other shit that I feel has like done that kind of first person grappling hook thing that I've played.
Dying Light. They
Oh,
keep
well,
mentioning that
Dying
game
Light.
like every.
I know, right?
Yeah, Dying Light has a grappling hook.
that's the fucking game of the day also.
Game of the day.
I do enjoy the pacing of it. It's probably going to be like a lot of trial and error,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, that's kind of what Devolver does. Just very quick paced. You die instantly and you're just right back into the fucking fray.
Minutes is literally you only play for a minute long, and then you do it over and over and over again, trying to. You ever played Minute before?
No.
It's
It sounds like
it's
a good time sink.
it's the most retroist, like silliest, like Atari looking type game, I guess. Like it's a character who gets cursed by a sword, and he only lives a minute at a time. So a minute passes and he dies.
Oh,
He dies and he starts all over. So you only spend a minute every time trying to find out how to further con- break the curse.
That sounds neat.
Yeah, like I love little games like that. It's one of those pick up and play things. So yeah, Devolver did that one, and that was so much fun. I beat the game eventually, but it takes a while. So it's not just a minute long game and then you beat the game. It takes a while to actually beat.
Oh, they also did Carrion.
Oh, they did. Played
Yeah.
that one too.
They,
That was nice.
most of like the bloody gore shit they did.
Yeah.
My
yo,
friend Pedro was them also.
Yes, I got that
my
one.
friend
That was
paid.
nice.
Oh, Katana Zero is amazing. They did that as well, right?
Good story.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
I fucking love that game.
That
I
one
love
had a really amazing story. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. Kevin, what do you think of the game? The Phantom Abyss.
a Phantom Abyss looks amazing. I like the whip. When she said whips, like I'm wondering if she meant the concept of like, well, picking up whips.
Yeah,
I wonder
different
if she
ones.
could-
I'm assuming.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was like you use your whip once and that's it. You can't use it again, type thing. But I love the aspect of the temple run, Souls like concept of it. Uh, I love the Phantom thing. It reminds me of Mario. It's like a Mario Kart, like trying to better your time with the aspect of the levels and everything. I do enjoy, I would say, different games, and since it's what was their name again? I forgot.
Devolver?
The Devolver. I was gonna say Devour, and I was gonna mess up the whole thing. Devolver already had me with Katana Zero, my friends Pedro, and Enter the Gungeon. So I was like, I'm already getting the game because of how it looks, but them being on it, it just makes it a little bit, a little bit spicy because they always make they make an amazing variety of indie games, and I love them for it. Definitely, they're definitely cop.
Cool. Danny?
This reminds me of. You ever play those phone games where they're all like, you probably see the ads and shit like that, where it's like you have to run and you're usually playing against bots and shit like that. It kind of reminds me of that, where it's like this low budget fake. I don't know. So, ultimately, I'm not really 100% sure if it'd be like best game, but I think it would be a great. I'm bored. Let me play something mindless real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely be better on like a Steam or versus with a console. I'm not sure.
No, yeah,
Console.
that's the thing with Devolver too. It's like it's very fast, like again, fast paced. You're quick into the action. You die, you start again, whatever. It's nothing that you're meant to like. Honestly, I think the heaviest thing with story that they had has been Katana Zero, because even
Yeah.
Serious Sam is just like a very big fuck around game. It's more of just you play it once you're done, you're waiting for something or whatever, an update's gonna fucking happen. It's just there to fuck around. It's nothing to be like, oh, whoa, this is gonna be the next fucking big game or whatever. It's just for shiggles, really.
Gonna be the Katana Zero killer.
Yeah, Devolver never really focused on like having a game that's gonna last you years and years and years to make a franchise out of it. It's they work on a lot of little things, and that's what this one is pretty much. Like this is something that'll probably last you a couple months. Have a little fun with it. If anything, they could always support it and add new maps or new obstacles and or features and things like that in the future. but for what it is now, it still looks entertaining for a few couple months.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely playing that.
Which, like most games, anyways, a lot of like heavy gamers, they're gonna play something for a couple months only and then move on to the next thing, unless this is like a multiplayer game or an MMO or something like that. So that's pretty much it for all the news. We will. What do you guys want to do first? Do you want to do the 20 questions, or do you want to do the community question first?
Let's do 20 questions and then do the community question afterwards. But that's
Okay.
my opinion.
Kevin has spoken.
That's fine.
So
The real host has spoken.
pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
It's
So-
basically a Milli Vanilli situation going on right now.
Yeah. So Randy is going to do the 20 questions this week. He has a game picked out for us, so I'm actually going to participate and play.
Yeah.
Randy? Whenever you're ready.
Hold on. Let me just get the sticky notes up so I could put
Sticky
what
notes.
questions you've had put down. Alrighty, cool. I'm ready. Start anyone.
Mm.
Is it a game before 2010?
Yes, it is.
Is it a game before 2000?
No, it's not.
So
Okay.
10-year window. Okay.
Is it a game before 2005?
Yes, it is.
5-year
So
window.
5-year window.
Your window.
Is this a exclusive game?
Yes, actually.
Is this exclusive to Nintendo?
No, it's not.
So PlayStation or Xbox
Mm-hmm.
or PC?
Or
That's easy.
what's Sega?
Huh?
Or Sega. Or Sega.
Wow.
They
Well then.
released it back- just for the Sega CD back in 2000.
Kevin, jump in here anytime. Did he freeze? Where'd he go?
Yeah, Kevin?
Kevin? Kevin's gone. Either that or he's staring really hard. All right,
Just
let's,
unbelievable.
let's continue.
Oh, I'm back. All right.
There he
you
is.
go.
Holy shit.
Kevin,
Fucking
did,
time warp.
did you have a question, Kevin?
I had a question, but then I got distracted with me being
I
frozen.
have a question for you. What the fuck happened there?
I had my phone, my laptop, and the stream playing at the same time.
Eating up all the bandwidth.
Yo,
Yeah.
you need the optimum triple play, bro. Like that's what you need.
And Ocho Cero Cuatro. Well, I forgot how the song goes.
This podcast was
was
brought to you by.
Optimum triple play.
Optimum online and anytime. Yo, I
So
swear,
we got 3 Kevins as the backup dancers.
just going like this. Yes. Is the I wanted to ask, is the game a shooter?
No, it's not.
Okay, cool.
Not
An
a shooter.
RPG?
No, it's not.
All right.
Knowing Randy,
Okay.
he's gonna pick some obscure shit. Okay.
Not necessarily.
Exclusive.
I think.
Is this
I don't feel like
exclusive for
this is
Xbox?
obscure. No.
No.
Is it a big,
AAA.
the big, yeah, the react that?
There's- No. We didn't ask if it was AAA.
If it's a AAA,
AAA?
Okay. I'm gonna ask this to you guys. I don't know how to answer that directly, to be quite honest.
yeah.
Because I don't feel like back then, between like the 2000 2005 period, there was much triple A per se.
Okay, so can we change
know
the
what I mean?
question to? Can we change the question to? Was this game well received?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Okay. And that's why I was like, asking my question, because it's like it wouldn't be a fair kind of, I don't know, thing.
Yeah.
So it was well
Okay, so-
received.
I don't think AAA started until like what 2010, really?
And
Probably, yeah.
Sounds-
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Is this a franchise?
Yes, it is.
how many questions have we asked?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
God damn.
And
You're halfway
correct
there.
name.
Are the publishers from Japan? Sorry, the developers from Japan.
No. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure no. These guys, no, definitely not.
So it's an American
Okay.
developer. Maybe.
I mean, that could be German or
from before 2005. Oh, 2005 and before.
2005. Not
Between
an
2000 and
RPG,
2005.
Not a shooter. Possibly PlayStation or PC.
Mm-hmm.
Well received.
Instead of asking like a generic question, ask something a little bit obscure.
Have we ever talked about this game before?
Have we ever talked about this game before? No, actually.
Damn.
But we will all know it.
Okay. Let's see. Is this a platformer?
Yes, it is.
Platformer. Well received platformer. Franchise. 2005.
2005 or before.
What did you say, Danny?
We haven't talked about
We
it.
haven't actually talked about it.
We haven't
But
talked
we,
about it.
but we all will know it.
Platformer. Not Japanese. Does this game... I don't know how to word this. Does this game use weapons?
Sort of, yes. I feel like saying something without like saying too much.
Yeah, you
So
gotta be careful.
would you prefer to rephrase the sentence or the question?
Cause okay, it's like yes, they use weapons, but more so, kind of like gadgets, if anything.
Huh.
That they use gadgets, right?
Mm-hmm. I can see the gears turning in Kevin's head.
Is there any type of combat at all?
Yes, there is.
Hold on, I got a question. Wait, can you repeat the questions that we asked?
Okay, so here we go. Let's see. It's before 2010. It's not before 2005. It's before, sorry, not before 2000. It's before 2005. It's an exclusive game, not Nintendo, not a shooter, not an RPG, not Xbox exclusive. It was well received. It's part of a franchise. It's not a Japanese developer. We haven't spoken of the game before. It's a platformer. They do have weapons and, as I said, gadgets, and there is combat in it.
That's how many questions?
Oh, fuck me. 1, 2, 3.
Number them.
15.
Oh, we got 5 questions left.
Sec. All right. The gears are turning and the squirrel is running at full speed right now, so I'm thinking.
Squirrel.
Yeah, the hamster's on break right now. He's taking a vacation. Exclusive to PS, not exclusive to Xbox, nor Nintendo.
Platform.
So how about you try to eliminate something from one of those things?
So I'm asking Sober and Drunken Guardian. So what is it? It's PlayStation, PC, and what else?
There's nothing
Or is it
else.
just place?
The Stadia as well.
Stadia.
Seriously?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Stadia didn't come out to like 2015.
The fact that Kevin was like, yes, Stadia between 2005 and 2000.
Let me see. I can't look at anything up, right? Like if
Go
it's
for
a
it. Fucking
specific
I
question.
don't give a shit.
Cool, because it's something that I wanted to look up.
Oh man. Danny, anything?
Nope.
Shit. Alright, fuck it. I guess I'll just waste some questions. Is
You only have 5 to waste.
Is this a PlayStation exclusive?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we got PlayStation. American maybe. Platformer. Is this developer? No. No.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Has this game been re-released in the form of a remaster, remake sort of aspect?
That's actually a wonderful question. Hold on.
I'll take your time.
Oh yeah, it was.
Do you
I
play
forgot about that one too. That's
as
funny.
a human?
No, you don't.
Ooh.
You have a robot companion.
No.
I know what you're thinking.
It's not Ratchet and Clank.
I know what you're thinking.
We spoke about Ratchet and Clank. That's the thing.
That's true.
Those two questions. It's not robot companion.
It's
Not
not
human.
a human, and it has been re-released. So you guys are 2 more left.
No, that's right.
Okay, remember, not a human, PlayStation exclusive, has been re-released. There is
this
combat in the game.
The sketches. Ooh, are you an animal?
Yes, you are.
Oh, it's like. Oh, nope. Not gonna say
Sly?
it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just thinking that.
Sly Cooper.
That's like
Yep.
Cooper.
Just like that.
I
There
was
you
actually
go.
thinking Jack and Daxter, but then when he said animal, I was like, yeah.
Right
But,
there, baby. I was thinking that once you
Took
said
you 20
PlayStation,
fucking questions, guys.
Yeah. Ooh. Yes, that was close.
listen, bro. I was saying, I'm
That
telling
was
you,
a good one, though.
Yeah, it was.
that was. See,
Oh,
I got
man.
these throwaway questions.
It's funny because I was waiting for someone to like immediately ask, like, "Do you play as an animal?" And I was like, "Fuck!" If they ask that, then I'm kind of asked out. Like,
Yeah.
Yo,
that gives it all away.
if it was not a PlayStation exclusive and I forgot about the Xbox question, I would have said Blinks. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, I think we talked about it.
We
So
have.
I don't.
Have
We
we?
have. So
Like,
that's why I was
once.
That
scared.
must have been a very brief talk.
It definitely was brief because it was just like a slight
No.
joke that was made. That it was like a nod to it, if anything.
Yeah.
We definitely did, and I definitely do remember that conversation.
I think we were
us
talking about that when we were talking about Luigi's Mansion or something.
Mansion.
Yeah.
Either that or it was something about it was a conversation we were having about I don't know how, but it was like related to Uncharted, and then we mentioned it. We mentioned Sly Cooper.
Did we talk
because it's
about it?
platform- Yeah, because it was platforming. Yes.
Well,
And that's the first game I thought of once we started narrowing down the systems.
yeah.
It's like, it got to be Sly.
It is what it is.
Find me that clip because I don't remember talking about Sly Cooper.
Oh,
Yeah,
I gotta
no
find
thanks.
that.
Good luck finding that.
If you find the clip, then you get a free question next time. I'm the one that picks it. So you'll have 22 questions.
Mm-hmm. All right,
like that.
Kevin's
so
about to like spend all his time going through all these episodes.
yeah,
Bro,
no,
I'm
right. They're like
like,
2 hours long too, so have fun.
Mhm.
But oh,
Oh, Danny, we lost Danny. All right, well, oh, there he is.
Welcome back.
hey, there he goes.
Hey,
You there, Danny? Okay, there you go. All
Oh.
right, cool.
Um,
So all right, let's so we guessed Sly Cooper. We're gonna go down to the community question now. Let me exit this real quick. Save. And last week we had Kevin ask the question, which was, what was your favorite soundtrack in any video game or franchise that you could just listen to over and over and over again? Since this is your question, Kevin, you want to go first?
of course. Very simple, basic as hell. You know, it's in my bones. The Tekken 7 soundtrack has beautiful, beautiful music that I can listen to over and over again.
7.
Es- Especially Heat Haze. I mean Heat Shadow. Heat Hazard Shadow is by far one of the most like very I would say loud and like fast song. So it's like it usually puts me in the mood. Usually when I play people in Tekken, I'm gonna take my shot later. I already had like 5 shots. I already had like 5 shots. Just yeah. So the next one I'm gonna take them. But I usually when I play with that song, I never lose a round. Like it's a bread and butter song. I love that, and yeah, yeah.
Usually, when you
Yeah,
listen to that, you never. So
never
almost always you
win.
win.
Yeah, that's
Almost always.
no, always when
There we go.
I'll always win with that song,
It's like
bro.
sometimes 100% of the time it
Nah,
works.
yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like I have to get the tingles. I have to get that Super Saiyan tingle, and then it plays out the way I want it to play out.
You need that
Yeah,
tingle in your back.
yeah.
Those,
It's
you
that
gotta have
one.
those midichlorians flowing through you.
Shut the fuck up. No. No, it's that soundtrack, and believe it or not, the House of the Dead 2 soundtrack.
Oh wait, we got
So
two
the
options.
dead. Okay.
Yeah,
I
House of
only
the
have
Dead
the
2.
one. If you got two, we got time. That's fine. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Danny, soundtrack.
While Danny goes
uh,
and says his, I'm gonna go get a glass because I'm gonna immediately mention something. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts. Go ahead, Danny.
I think I'm similar where I hear that. Final Fantasy for me. I mean, um, when you play that remake, they left most of the original music alone, and every time, it just started my eyes like, oh my god, this song is good. Sephiroth, everything, trademark. I love that. That question is also a little weird for me because I don't actually. I like the music in games, but I can never just listen to any song. Period. In the game.
Like
Period.
outside of the game.
Unless outside the game.
Yeah.
It's like I would never just throw on a soundtrack. There's not a single soundtrack that I would do that for. But I know people tend to like they love anime music or anime intros. Right? Oh, that's my favorite intro.
Looking at you, Kevin.
Yeah.
What
And
do you mean?
I know a lot of people who do that, and it's fine. It's just like up to you. But that's the like me personally. I can never at all. But intros actually really annoy me. Never watch
Hey,
intros.
hey Dan, can I tell you something funny? Can I
What's
tell you
up?
why I watch animes? Based on the
For the
intro. If I like the
intros?
intro, if the intro's whack, I don't watch the anime.
Only time I ever watch an intro, I always watch an intro once every new season, and only to see if they're gonna have any interesting fight or things like that, like concepts. So usually they'll show whoever the main protagonist and go back together. That's it. To see what they can do.
So Danny,
watch it. The other one was Halo. Loved fun.
Oh,
The
Halo.
song.
Yeah.
Nice.
That one. It's just the best.
It's iconic.
Song. It's
Mhm.
super iconic.
What the
It's
fuck is the
kinda
name of
cool,
that
get
song
you
though?
pumped and hyped up.
When the
If you
violins
play
kick
the game.
in.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
That shit was
they
on
redid it
Guitar
in, like,
Hero.
and you play like, oh, this is fucking so awesome. This is hardcore, and
Yeah.
like that. You know?
I was gonna tell Danny, funny when me, Randy, and Kevin when we first met, we started hanging out like drinking like pretty much like 1 day out of the weekend every week. I knew that these guys were gonna be my friends because I remember this one time we were walking to Randy to one of the bars that he goes to often, and we were walking
when
down
to,
there.
because it's closed now.
Well, yeah, I'm not surprised, but we were just naming a bunch of like favorite animes and favorite intro themes to animes, and we all started singing the intro from Bleach, one of the intros from Bleach,
Oh my god!
and we
I
knew the
remember that.
words, the Japanese words for it. We knew it, and I was just like, I could fuck with these guys. Like that was the day where I was just like, yeah, this is my circle here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was a funny thing that happened when we started
So
hanging out.
so I just found out the name of what it's called. It's called Opening Suit. I didn't even know the name of it.
Opening
For
Yeah,
Halo?
it's
For Halo?
Opening, yes, for Halo. Opening Suit. Like, like I got you guys right now. Hold on.
Mm.
I just no.
You gonna play
no,
it?
Go back.
Wait. Will we get hit with like a
Yeah,
fucking
No,
DM?
no, 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 no,
DMCA?
no. I'm just showing you the. It's literally this right here. I wanted to show you the image of Opening Suit. See, I wasn't gonna hit you with the music. I know about that.
I don't see anything.
You know,
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I clicked it. There we go.
So it's right here. See, Opening Suit. What is the name of the iconic Halo theme? It appears that the theme of on YouTube, it's OSST is called Opening Suit.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, that's a weird ass thing for that. Just
Well,
like that.
so I'm gonna say mine just because it's pretty much almost the same as Danny. Because me specifically is Final Fantasy VII, which I know Danny meant that anyways because he mentioned like Sephiroth, like fucking it's
That's what I
Sephiroth, man.
meant. I've
Yeah.
said part of my episode.
Like the Sephiroth
I actually
theme
have
song.
no idea of any other music.
What, One-Winged Angel?
One-Winged Angel. Everybody
Yeah,
knows the
One-Winged
One-Winged
Angel,
Angel. Everyone knows
Not
that.
the battle theme.
Fanfare.
Well, that's the thing too. Like the orchestra for Sephiroth was what we're gonna mention, but also the battle theme, like from like the second boss and on, like that Airbuster robot, like that was my favorite boss battle theme. Yeah, like Danny mentioned, also the fanfare. Everybody knows the iconic fanfare, even though it was used in previous games before. 7 was the one that made it iconic, and that's maybe my opinion, but that is the moment where it was an iconic. Everybody has it as a ringtone or like a message thing or whatever notifications. Like it's just-
Specifically, the one from 7.
yeah, specifically 7. Also like a Chocobo theme song. Like I just love it. It's fun. It's cute. It's like everybody knows that thing. Golden Saucer, Cosmo Canyon, the Genova theme song. Like those are great. And
All right, so we spitting out all these.
Gotta throw the Persona song.
the what?
The cow.
Oh, Persona.
Remember?
Yeah, the first Persona.
Persona.
That soundtrack was actually pretty cool.
Oh my God. Yo. I was, believe it or not, yesterday, right? Well, 2 days ago, I was like, yo, I want to just play Persona 1. And he was
Yeah.
like, why? Did you not hear that opening music for the... I was like, I'm getting the game. So I
The
ordered
theme
the
song-
game and yeah.
The
Oh
theme
my God,
song for when
amazing.
you go into the grocery store. Do you know what Danny's talking about? That shit is hilarious.
Wait, which one? In Persona 1?
In Persona 1, yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't played. I
check-
have the game. I have the game.
Okay.
I'm going to play it.
So fucking
Yeah,
weird.
check it out. It's funny. It's like upbeat and kind of silly and it's funny.
Oh.
But yeah, back
so I
back
might-
with Final Fantasy 7. What was I gonna say? I have a playlist on Spotify if anyone wants to listen to it. Not my own specific one, but just one that's out there of calming versions of the entire soundtrack. Like they remixed it so it's like cool, calm. It's like almost like
like lo-fi.
meditation music. Yeah, really, really, really good. So I listen to that pretty often to like either like to study to, or if I'm like cleaning the house or something like that. Like I'll play it, I blast it loud and kind of just chill with it. It's really good. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII was my pick also, and I would agree with Halo as well. But I didn't pick a second soundtrack for myself. It was just 7. That's pretty much it.
So your second would be Halo.
I guess if Danny says it too, because he is right. Like that is pretty iconic too. Like, and that's kind of like more of a pumped up type of soundtrack. and it's still iconic as well. But the only thing I remember from that game is the intro, like
Yeah.
orchestra and like the build up to from that song.
And I remember, I think it was like the when they first announced it's gonna be a Halo 2 or Halo 3, one of them, and they had it on the stage at E3, and they had that big Halo set, and they played that new version of the song, and people were just so hyped.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Randy, so what's your pick?
So, funnily enough, I didn't expect you guys to pick anything like Final Fantasy. Well, no, fucking sober here, definitely. But one that I could have on like an actual infinite fucking loop is the Final Fantasy X battle theme. Have you played Final Fantasy X? Do you not
I
remember it?
have.
No.
I don't
I
have the
Oh.
music
can't
on.
remember.
Wow. Wow, you guys are missing out. That shit is like it's really fun.
Huh.
Battle theme, right?
Yeah. Just throw that bitch in the Discord chat, and then like they'll listen to it afterwards.
Oh, I was bumping that. The song that I put in Discord chat is what I've been bumping for the last like 3 since I got Persona is what I've been bumping.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Funny.
Um,
I'll have to listen
what
to
is
I
it?
mean, I remember beating that.
Oh.
But you know, that's another one. Where we played to my concept of we're old. Like we played obviously when it first came out, and after we beat it, we probably never played it again. Really. At least not to beat it again anyway. Whereas
Yeah, Danny,
guys,
I think you
played,
beat
like,
10.
a year ago.
I think you beat
Yeah,
10, and I kind of just didn't get that far at all. So, yeah, it didn't really stick with me that much.
Well,
And then 10 and 10-2.
oh, 10-2, I'm good with that.
The less about
that doesn't exist to me.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Can I tell you out of the 10s I only played 10 too, so I feel like I'm missing out on
God.
something.
Ooh,
You mean-
Yeah,
you mean
sacrilege,
the-
Jesus.
You mean the Charlie's Angel simulator?
Yeah, and then I
Upstart
just
sim.
abused the swords. I just abused the swords because it's like the most damage. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then like halfway through the
That
game I
game-
got lost.
I
was like-
played that game. I think it was on. What was this? Was it PS3?
I believe it was PS2.
What?
PS2, one of them.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know.
Two.
I can't remember.
That 10-2 was on PlayStation 2 because it came out not that long after 10 came out, and
Yeah.
I was like, "The fuck is this?"
It was.
It's
Yeah.
10 too, bud.
So I
Uh,
had it at my wife's, my girlfriend's house, and I was playing it. I ended up spilling fucking orange juice on the console.
what the fuck?
Yeah, because I had a heart fucking orange juice, and it fucked up the whole fucking PlayStation, and I ended up losing the and all like everything from it.
Oh,
You know what? Yeah, sure. We'll go with the story that it was orange juice. That's why it was sticky, right? Totally. Wait, we got you. We got you.
Danny
Whatever.
got excited for Final Fantasy X.
Joe, fucking, he's like, "Oh, Yuna." Or were you more into Pain? If you were into Lulu, you were into Pain, probably. There we go. See?
Danny's a sub.
Oh shit. But what is it? The shot that I'm gonna fucking take.
Yeah.
Hang on a fucking second. Yes, the opening intro to Kingdom Hearts 2, Sanctuary.
Oh, Sanctuary.
Bro.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I prefer
fucking-
simple and clean.
Yes. Okay. Simple and clean is nice, but Sanctuary was just like more appealing to me because it was like dramatic while also remaining calm. Because what they use in what is it, in Recoded 1 and even Birth by Sleep, it's like the kind of dance mix of Simple and Clean, and the original is like super calm and it's really pretty. That's the one that they use at the end of 1 when like Sora and Kyrie are like separating and it's like really like, you know, soft. I like that version of Simple and Clean. But no, Sanctuary, like it did it for me. Every single time I listened to it, I got chills. To be quite honest, when I replayed 2 again over the quarantine, I fucking cried listening to it. Because the whole thing is just like I played it as a kid and it was such like a big game for me. So it has like all that nostalgia to me.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask the question: how do you feel about Face My Fears?
I got Stockholm into that. I didn't like it initially, but I did grow into it mainly because my nephew he likes to watch the intros, so I'll constantly put them on for him. and Face My Fears, like I liked watching the intro more than listening to the song, but after like listening to it for so many fucking times, I I realized it's pretty catchy, but with the visuals, I ain't listening to that one.
What the hell was it? It was that one, and then there was another song that she had, and I thought that was the opening, and it was
Don't think
really
twice.
yeah. Don't think twice would have been a better opening,
Don't think twice is
but
fucking beautiful.
it's an amazing song. But yeah,
So I'm gonna
one
take
of
my
my
shot now, guys. Cheers, fucking.
how many
Yeah.
shots is that? 9. The whole bottle.
Well, so simple and clean. I liked the most because of how flexible it was when it came to, like in the first game, it was like an upbeat, happy, like fast paced type of song in the beginning, and then I remember clearly like just how you got emotional with that one. I got emotional with simple and clean in the ending, like
Yeah,
during
no,
the
that's
CGI
what I
ending
mean.
as
The
well. Like
ending
that
one
was
I do
good.
prefer. The
Yeah,
ending I do prefer.
the what do you call it? The ballad version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What is it? The simple and clean that they use for the Kingdom Hearts 1 intro, I prefer it in the Birth by Sleep one because it's the intro is a lot more action packed, and there's one drop in it that's like fucking amazing because it's I never shut the fuck up about this part in particular, but you see that like Terra, he's running down the hallway and he's being like pursued by darkness, but as he's running he's just like looking dead ahead. He's like, you know, hell bent on escaping the darkness, and he's not deterred by anything, right? And then the hallway flips, and on the other side, it's Ventus running away from like all the problems he's kind of being thrown into. But as he's running, seeing how he's still a child, he's like looking over his shoulder constantly because he's afraid of what's like pursuing him. So I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like this is a really good use of this song in particular.
I
But
swear, I need to like. I need to come up with a podcast or like one episode dedicated just to you, so you
specifically
can
for
finally just like just let it all out and then never speak of it again.
you think
I went
that'll
down the
work,
rabbit hole.
but here's
I
the
went down
thing:
the rabbit
it
hole,
will
man.
not.
Danny, what'd you say?
I went down the rabbit hole of Kingdom Hearts, try to get into it. And funny enough, nobody talks about part 3. I tried to figure out what the fuck happened in part 3 to get a, but nobody talks about it. People like so they skip and go right to that
Because the thing is that
3.5 shit that just came out.
part three, it's not really that good. Like I said, the only good parts that are like the Disney ones are Monsters Inc., Toy Story. They don't really pertain
They
much
talk
to
about
the
the Toy
story.
Story aspect, obviously, because
Because
so
it
much
that no,
happened.
that part is so amazing.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's just that part with what's the name of that guy? First with a Y.
Yazora.
Yuzora. So the whole thing with Yuzora, they set up this fake game, this fake world, and they even
Oh,
say
Verum Rex,
talk to
and
him.
then towards the end, yeah.
Van Ruck. They even go, oh look, you look just like Yuzora from Rem, or you look just like him,
And
or
it's like,
you
no,
are
we
the
think that Riku
Dino.
looks like him, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, okay, they're obviously setting something up, and then they don't do anything with it. And then at the very end of the game, they kind of do, but it's like, oh, okay, I want more of that to me. And
Yeah,
then
no, that one was pretty neat, but for Kingdom Hearts 3, nothing much really happens until the final board of the game and the DLC. The DLC did everything right. Dude, they even fucking fixed the voice acting that they had. Like, hey, okay, so Haley Joel plays Sora, obviously, and he also plays Vanitas, who's like the one of the main antagonists in Birth by Sleep. He shows up again, and he looks like just an evil Sora, right? In base 3, he sounds like your cheesy Saturday morning cartoon version of Sora. He's like, "Ooh, I am evil. I'm darkness." And it's like, "Okay, well, sure thing,
Believe it.
Edward." Yeah, basically. But in Birth by Sleep, he sounds fucking menacing as hell. So it's like, what the fuck happened between Birth by Sleep and 3 that he lost his chops for both Sora and Vanitas? Then in Remind, the DLC, oh my god, he does his old Vanitas voice again, and that shit is amazing. His Sora sounds so much better. Everything in Remind fixes so many things,
Kevin, I hope
but
you have something that'll change the
doesn't make
subject.
it.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
no, that's it.
No,
Fuck
no,
it.
no, no,
Don't
no.
with
So
it.
there's
No. Don't enable me. Don't enable me.
no.
For I will have another shot.
It's
I will have
it's
another
about
shot on
it's
an
about the
episode.
voice acting. It was about the voice acting. So I'm like, you're saying in the DLC, like his voice sounds different.
Oh, dude, it sounds better. It's back
Okay.
to the gold
That-
fucking era of what it was.
That's what I wanted to ask. 'Cause
Okay.
It wasn't going to be like 3 questions. It was just the one question up there.
Done.
If it goes back.
Done with
Speaking
So
of
anyways,
believe it,
so
speaking of
back to
believe it, there's
fighters.
Kevin's shirt.
So
with the shirt.
believe it.
Oh yeah, believe
Believe
it.
it. So back
Uh,
to fighting games. So I did this sick ass combo.
Yeah, no. All right, so because we're gonna finish up with some good times. So I really, Kevin did the community question last week, so I guess it's Randy's turn. Randy, do you have a question? Community
Famous
question?
Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh God,
Why
Why did you do this?
I'm kidding. Actually, I'm torn in between two.
I mean, just save one for another time.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna ask one, and then I'm gonna ask the other one that I have in store after, because I feel like I might have asked it before, but I don't remember. Anyways, is there a game that you would want a sequel for?
So it does like as in it doesn't already have a sequel. Like it's
Yeah,
only one game.
Whether it's one game, or if like you just want a continuation of the series itself, like even if it's like, oh, this one already has 2 games and it doesn't have a third one, and it's just like that's where it died off. Like, would you want to see a sequel for it?
Okay, so what game would you like a sequel to?
Yeah,
Does that sound right?
basically. Whether or not it's already part of a series or whatever the case. It could be a one-off. It could be whatever. It just
Cool. Sounds good. That's actually a good one. All right. All right. So we'll just leave it at that. That will be the next community question. What game would you like a sequel to?
Do you want my satire answer?
Satire? Sure.
Too Human.
I would
Danny
actually
just
like a sequel to that.
himself.
Wait, I wanted to.
It had
I wanted to-
potential. It had
I'm
potential.
so surprised you remember that game.
I played the shit out of that game, but we'll talk about that next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I wanted to
Kevin?
ask a question about this question.
Yeah.
Like, let's say the sequel for a game is already coming out. Do you want another sequel on top of that, or can you pick that game?
No,
You know
another
what I mean?
sequel on top of that. If it's already being released, then that one doesn't count because clearly it's like already going to be out.
But then how are you going to want a sequel for a game that hasn't come out yet
It
because
hasn't
you don't
come
know
out
what's
yet.
going to happen with that game?
I mean, if it's like if you want fucking Persona 7 and they already like announced Persona 6, then yeah, sure, whatever. But
Well,
it's
technically
not too
speaking,
conducive
they
to-
already got. Oh, sorry. Technically speaking, they already got the license from 6 to 9. So we'll see what happens.
I already
so
have
you
my
want
game.
Persona 10.
I already have my game, so I know my pick. But yeah, Too Human. Back to that now. I'm interested.
You're intrigued, aren't you?
Yeah,
know it
I
was supposed to be a
actually,
trilogy,
I actually really like the story to that game, but like the combat was like, and it was
Because-
supposed to be a trilogy. Same thing with
It was supposed to be, yeah.
there was another game that was supposed to be a trilogy. I can't remember what it was.
Halo, but then they
no.
decided to tack on more fucking games.
So there was a game that was supposed to be a trilogy, and it was like some guy who was a chosen one, and he ended up having powers. And I don't know if you guys remember this. There was a contest to this game where somebody won like $10,000 or $100,000 or $1 million. I don't know what the fuck it was, and it was a promotion for the game because it was going to be a trilogy, and then they kind of scrapped the whole contest. So like somebody won, and then they never got the prize money or anything like that, and like the game itself bombed and ended with a cliffhanger, which I was excited for. I can't Advent Rising.
I was gonna say, was it Advent Rising? I was
Advent
literally just staring
Rising.
at it right now.
Yes, Advent
Whoa.
Rising. That was another trilogy that bombed hard.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tweet.
But we'll leave it at that. So I want to talk about this more, but we ain't got time.
It's
So
we'll just bring it back to fucking next week in case
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
it.
I'll keep a note on that. But thank you guys for joining us. Anybody in the chat room, anybody listening to audio, thanks for you guys for joining us. Don't forget to check out thedrunkenguardian.com for
Did anybody put on the chat for the community question or no?
Oh, actually, yeah. HR Berto, he actually did mention also Randy's pick, which was Final Fantasy X. He liked the soundtrack for 10 as well. And HR Berto
Wait,
is
anything specific that he put?
let me double check to be sure.
I feel like if he was to put anything, it would be Hymn of the Faith.
Damn, you know it's another one I can think of, but I only like one song from it. You guys are gonna hate me. Final Fantasy 13, Blinded by the Light.
And
The Bruce Springsteen song?
Yes.
he
No
just
hesitation.
says it has some real good pieces, and as a whole, I'd be okay with it. A close second would be the would be the Halo theme.
Gee, that's like the unanimous one.
Yeah, pretty
Opening
much.
suit is where it's at.
Halo,
Everybody loves
Halo,
that
Halo,
one.
Halo. Yeah,
Classic.
that's funny.
I feel like when you
Yeah.
first start gaming, like early 2000s, you'll know the theme. You'll know the theme if you've never played the game.
And thank you guys for joining. I am your host again, Danny Martinez. We got Boneless Bones, which is another
Also as your host.
streamer, also as the hidden host.
Hey, what's
Where can we find you?
Oh, I'm actually the host. I didn't know that. Hi, Boneless
Bro,
Bones
Millie
here.
Vanilli.
You can you can find me on Boneless Bones _TV on Twitch, and I also have a YouTube channel of the same name, just no _TV. And I love to see you guys over there. Stay powerful.
Cool. Randy and Danny, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
obviously.
Have a good one.
Yep, we'll see you guys next week. Check out the website. End of the
Bye-bye.
stream. Bye-bye.
Nice.